Welcome to Euphorian Films Advanced Machinima Tutorials. I'm Tori Kamal. I'm narrating the part of Nick Orth because he has swine flu at the moment. Today I'll be talking to you about camera work. For example purposes, we'll be using Halo 3. Now before we start filming our machinima, we need to understand what type of shots there are. There are establishing, long, medium, and close shots. Establishing shots are used to show the audience where upcoming scenes are going to be taking place. Commonly used shots show vast landscapes or the outside of buildings. Long shots are similar to establishing shots because they also show where scenes will be taking place, but on a smaller scale. Some of the most commonly used long shots are when the camera sweeps through a corridor or hallway. Medium shots are when the camera is focused on an object or person from their knees or waist up. Medium shots are most commonly used for dialogue so that the audience knows who's talking, but it's not good to overuse it because it degrades the quality if used too often. Medium shots can also be used during action scenes if someone has a large weapon like a turret. Close shots are when the camera is on someone's face, part of a body like a mouth, feet, or eyes, or on a particular object of interest like a gun reloading. Major characters are often given a close-up when they're introduced as a way of indicating their importance. Leading characters will have multiple close-ups. When the close-up is used in shooting, the focus should not be put in exactly the middle of the frame. Instead, it should be put to the left or right of the side because people tend to look at the second line from the top and sides of an imaginary grid. The grid shows where most people's points of interest are. Now we're going to discuss positive and negative space. What's that, some of you might be asking? Well, positive space is objects and characters. Negative space is air. Now, if you wanted a shot where someone is depressed and is walking on the road by themselves, you would have a camera angle that's high up so you can show more negative space, which will make the audience feel like the character is all alone. This is also a great way to show the audience a trap or ambush laid out for the character. If there was a scene in which you wanted to make the character feel trapped or claustrophobic, you would have a lot of positive space and give the camera a low angle so the objects look bigger and fill out most of the screen. This is a great type of shot if someone is trying to hide, and if you want to slowly zoom in, it will help build up the suspense of them being caught. Now that we have gone over positive and negative space, it's time to go over the 180 rule. The 180 rule is applied for any basic dialogue scene. The 180 rule requires 3 cameras. The main camera, or camera 1, is typically used to establish the distance between the two characters and to show their differences. Camera 2 is always on guy 1's right side or shoulder, and camera 3 is on guy 2's left shoulder or side. The reason why camera 2 or 3 are not facing each other is because it could cause confusion for the audience and who is talking if they look or sound the same. Now camera 2 and 3 can zoom in and give close-ups, so long as the person will be on the right side of the screen. Now if you're doing action scenes, you will want to use a lot of fast shots and close-ups on weapons, whether they're being reloaded or shooting. Also, grenades and explosions or anything else that deserves attention during the fight, like someone sneaking by. If you choose to use a shaky cam, you should only use it if you're trying to show the power of a weapon or explosion, or to show tense emotional situations. It is very easy to overuse this effect, so it's best to only use it at the most important times. When using this effect, try to make the effect as realistic as possible, and the only way of doing that is just playing around with the sensitivity to see how much you use. If you're trying to show an object, there are multiple ways of filming it. You could pan or tilt. Panning is horizontally moving the camera and tilting is moving the camera up or down. You can also move along the object to make it look big, or if it truly is too big to fit in the camera frame. Lastly, you can always move back and film the whole object. One last thing to remember when filming. Always try again and again and again and again. You want your scenes to be as perfect as possible, and practice makes perfect. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching Euphorian Films Advanced Machinima Tutorials.